الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الأطيبين الأنجبين بهم نتولى ومن أعدائهم نتبرأ إلى الله. اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Among the term or the time of Imam al-Asr alayhi salatu wassalam, we find riwayat that state that the aql, the intellect of human beings is going to be complete or much matured than what it is now. Bulugh aqli, the term. Now this bulugh aqli, or the intellectual maturity, is not only for the human beings, that will be seen even in the animals. The riwayat that talk about the era of Imam al-Asr alayhi salatu wassalam, they say that you would see wild animals like vultures. They are feeding besides chicken, hens and ducks. So these two, they don't get along. Or tigers and lions, for example, with deers and goats and sheep. That also doesn't happen. But it will happen during the time of Imam al-Asr alayhi salam. So what happens over there is we see that even that maturity of the aql is given not only to the human beings but also to the animals. And it's a time which is going to be beautiful with all the surplus of Allah's bestowals and blessings. Now, to understand this in very easy words, that how will it be possible, or is it possible or not, if you get time today, find some time, I should say, not get time, from the Holy Quran, page 379 and 380. It's the story of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. Read it, read the translation and see how wonderful it is, how beautiful it is. Now here Prophet Sulaiman, when he sees that the hoopoe bird, it's missing, not present, not in its station, so it seems that even that bird had an assignment in the rule of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam, and the bird was absent. Now here Prophet Sulaiman says, where is that bird? Everyone is in their station, and everyone is performing their duty, and without any excuse, the bird is absent. Here Prophet Sulaiman says, why was it delayed for no reason? If it was absent, it is going to be executed. The bird returned. Says, I was flying around and came across this land of Sheba, Yemen, Saba, and there I see a queen. And there I saw that the inhabitants of that land, they have bowed down, they perform sajda to the sun. That was quite amazing for me. That was the reason for why I was delayed. Here Prophet Sulaiman says, yes, the reason for the absence of this bird is legit. So it seems that over here, the task of the Prophet is propagation, is tabligh. So everyone around the Prophet is performing the same mission. They are all moving in the same direction. Even that bird who is serving the noble cause of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. Says, وَتَفَقَّدَ الطَّيْرِ فَقَالَ مَا لِي لَا أَرَى الْهُدْهُدْ. Prophet Sulaiman, he says that the bird, tafaqad means, faqada means was absent. When he reviewed all the birds, he sees that the hudhud or the hoopoe bird is absent. Says, why is it absent? Am kana min al-ghaibin? Is it absent without any reason? لَأُعَذِّبَنَّهُ عَذَابًا شَدِيدًا. It is with so much of emphasis. He says that I will certainly punish the bird a severe punishment. أو لأذبحنه, I will also execute it, ذبح it. أو ليأتيني بسلطان مبين, unless it brings a credible excuse. فمكث غير بعيد, then not long, soon the bird appeared and gave the news to Prophet Sulaiman that I was flying around and I came to this land. I found a woman ruling over them, and she has been given everything, and she has a great throne. I found her and her people prostrating to the sun instead of Allah, and Shaitan has made their deeds seem decorous to them, thus has barred them from the way of Allah, so they are not guided. وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ. Now this is another beautiful term that we have. Many a times people, they do stuff, they think they are practicing, they think they are doing good. In reality, زَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ. Shaitan has made it beautiful for them. It is not an action, it is not an act. Many a times it is for something which is negative. He wants to prove it positive. He gives it a good decor, a good wrapper. A haram act is given a good wrapper. It's presented in a positive way to deceive people, to cheat people. Now here, Shaitan also has done the same thing for them. That is, they are bowing down in sajda before the sun, and Shaitan has made that act look beautiful. Now here Prophet Sulaiman, he sends a message to the Queen of Sheba, of Saba, and says to this bird, اذهب بكتابي هذا فالقه إليهم ثم تول عنهم فانظر ماذا يرجعون. Says, take this note of mine to them and see how they reply. Now what is that note that is written by Prophet Sulaiman? Says, إنه من سليمان إنه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Allah ta'alu alayya wa atuni muslimin. This note is from Sulaiman. It begins, that is, innahu min Sulaiman. Indeed, it is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And it states that do not defy me and submit to me. That is, embrace and submit to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala in His worship. Now the queen also, she was smart. When she gets the note, she says to her elite, those ministers who were around, says, give me your opinion because I don't take any decisions myself. I see what you say and then I decide. Now here those decision makers, they say, قالوا نحن أولو قوة وأولو بأس شديد. We are strong, we are mighty. والأمر إليك, decision is yours. فانظري ماذا تأمرين. So whatever you decide, we'll do. Here she says that generally when these rulers, the kings and queens, when they do go to some land, they just devastate it, and the rich over there, they become poor, or the strongest of them, they become weak because of this devastation which is caused by the rulers, by the kings. On the other side, we have Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. Now she sends some gifts to Prophet Sulaiman, and the bird brings the gifts to them. Now Prophet Sulaiman says to his men, what can you do? Now if you go through that entire page, it's so beautiful, the whole story of Prophet Sulaiman and the Queen of Sheba. The Prophet Sulaiman says to his men, what can you do? One of them, Prophet Sulaiman says, I want to bring her throne here to me. Who can do it? One of them said, I can do it. And the time it would take is the time it takes for you to rise from your seat. A few seconds it takes for you to stand. Says, that much of time I need to bring the throne of the Queen of Sheba here to you, to Palestine. Now, says that's too much. Anyone else? The other person, he says that I can do it, and that is the blink of an eye, the twinkling of your eye. How long does it take for your eyes to close and open? A fraction of a second. Says, in that fraction of a second, I can do it. I can bring the throne of Queen Sheba to you. And why did he do and how did he do it? He says that الَّذِي عِنْدَهُ عِلْمٌ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ. The term used here is عِلْمٌ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ. عِلْمٌ means, al-ilm means the knowledge. Ilmun without the alif lam means a part of an ilm. Ilmun min al kitab means a fraction of the knowledge from the book. A fraction of the knowledge from the book that person who had, he could perform these miraculous tasks of bringing the throne of the queen from that part of the world to this part, which is about 2,000 miles, in a fraction of a second. Now, Imams that we believe in, they have ilmul kitab, that is all of the knowledge of the book. So they can, when we say that they can perform tasks which are far greater than what is seen by just moving a throne from one part of the earth to the other, this is far great, because the ilm given to the Imams is ilmul kitab. Here it is ilmun min al kitab. Now, one of the other things that we see here, and which is wonderful and beautiful, is that the people working for Prophet Sulaiman, the term used is the quvva. They are strong people. So anyone working in the missions of tabligh, in the propagation of Deen and Islam, these people have to be strong. You can't have just people weak, people with no decision, people who can't stand, people who have no knowledge. They cannot run these stations that are to do with tabligh. So for tabligh, a person has to be strong. To be a servant of the Prophet, they have to be strong, they have to be mighty, they have to be knowledgeable. So so many beautiful things over here in this page 379 and page 380. Just go through it, recite the Arabic and also the English translation of it, and see how wonderful Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, He explains the entire story of Prophet Sulaiman ala nabiyyina wa alayhi wa alihi salatu wassalam. وسبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على